So look at media bias on that. Number 2, what is good reporting and what defines it? Is there a difference between an editorial and news? Number 3, how has social media played a role in elections? And then number 4, do online advertisements sway voters or bring attention to issues? Do certain platforms appeal to certain voting demographics? Use examples to prove how they do or do not change the minds of voters. And those are the 4 questions from this week.
Okay, I'm going to repeat those at the end of class, and class is going to be pretty short today because, Eric, would you share a screen with me of the discussion right now while I'm talking? But while Eric is doing, while he's working on sharing his screen, okay, I want to remind you that the exam is this week. It's due by Friday night. Do not wait until Friday night, okay? If you look at discussions, there are 2 discussions here. One of them is going to be available pretty much immediately, media, lecture, and discussion. That's for today. But there's an ice storm coming, all right? And so it's only supposed to intensify, actually. And so Wednesday's lecture is already up as well. I've told you guys that there'll be guest lectures throughout. So Manes gave 1 guest lecture. We had a guest lecture from James Patterson, and this is Eric's guest lecture. So he has 2 for this week, and I'm going to talk on Wednesday also. So still come to class on Wednesday, but they are both up in case you want to work ahead. Because of the ice storm. Okay? They're both under the discussion. There is a question for you to answer, and so then we also have the questions in this. And these lectures are really fun. Eric gave the media lecture, and I think he added to it this year too. But he gave it last year for the first time, and there are QR codes in there to follow. Those are important things to do. You need to interact with the lecture, okay?
And maybe in the social media lecture, you'll get to see me dancing. I mean, it's really great. So, but make sure to use the QR codes and watch throughout. There's a great guest lecture. She works at a marketing firm out of Washington, D.C., a big national one, and they do work on Joe Biden's campaign currently and have done otherwise. So she's in the know. She knows what's going on with social media and elections, and it's a little longer, but it's a really good guest lecture on top of everything.
So just so you know, like Eric said, he's going to maybe be dancing in the social media lecture. I'm not saying that you should make a meme out of that or anything, but if you did, I mean, I'd like to see it. All right. So thank you, Eric. This is under your discussions. It's on Canvas. Okay. So that should be pretty easy to find. Eric, do you have attendance ready to go? I think we're all here now.
Yes, let me pull it up. 1 second.
The discussion is due just over the next couple of days, okay? But I would do it as soon as possible just because you have an exam this week. And so, you know, I would watch it and get it done. And really, there's an ice storm coming. So you have time right now because we're about to sign off. So get 1 done, and hey, get 2 done. Why not? Because again, I don't know what's going to happen with your power, certainly.
Yeah, and the lectures are only 30 minutes, so a little shorter to give you some time for the discussion. And discussion, it will benefit you to do the discussions. I will say that.
The discussion is posted on the modules section under Canvas. And
just go to discussions.
Oh, okay.
Just go to discussions. Okay, and so attendance is live.
Yes, attendance is live.
All right. So a couple of key last things. Number 1, You have an exam this week. Number 2, that exam will be made up of, for you, 10 short answer questions that should be about 3 sentences long. Okay? I have given you, including this week, 20, which means that you will randomly get 10 of those. One of them is not a question so much as it is an interpretation. You're going to have to interpret a poll. Okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about that maybe on Wednesday if you were to tune into this BAT channel at that BAT time. Okay? And I'm just reminding you of what the questions are for today, since we do say them twice, at the beginning and then at the end. Number 1, how does media bias play into the media landscape? Do you think it is important to understand the stance of a particular news organization or media organization? Number 2, what is good reporting and what defines it? Is there a difference between editorials and news? Number 3, how has social media played a role in elections? If I were answering that question, I'd be able to give at least a couple of examples and then answer the question, right? Do online advertisements sway voters or bring attention to issues? This is question number 4. Do online advertisements sway voters or bring attention to issues? Do certain platforms appeal to certain voting demographics? Hint, hint, it's in the lecture. Use examples to prove how they do or do not change the minds of voters. Examples has an S, so use 2. Okay?
And make sure to scan the QR codes and kind of explore them. They're fun things.
Scan the QR codes because some of these answers are in there too. Okay? All right, you guys.
Robin, I have a question real quick. I lived through the great ice storm of 2007. So if by chance we do lose power and it is out for a few days, what will you do for people who may not be able to attend Wednesday?
For people who won't attend, 1, the lecture will be recorded. Okay, and so it'll be posted up on the YouTube page that's up there. So you'll have that, okay? And then secondly, if you are having problems with power, but you can use your phone and email me that so that I know, I can also extend your test time.
Thank you, ma'am.
So are all the lectures posted to the YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me what the YouTube is, or is it on Canvas page?
It's on Canvas. It's the very top announcement.
Yeah, or
Okay.
you can go through the discussion page on Canvas because that's where you'll put your discussions for the videos. So that's the best way to go through it.
Okay, so I guess that's it, guys. Until Wednesday.